If you watched my playthrough of WWE 2K22's MyGM mode where I tried to purposefully get as few fans as I could, there's a good chance you'll know who Kyle Slickman is. He became somewhat of a hero to me in that run and helped me put on half-star shows week in, week out. So after seeing this comment posted on the video by Big Random I thought it was only fitting to give it a go to secure Kyle's legacy. So this video will be me trying to maintain Kyle Slickman as my most popular superstar, whilst also trying to have him win the belt, all while beating the AI on hard mode. It's gonna be a challenge, but a challenge that Kyle deserves. Okay, so let's waste no time and get into a new MyGM save. I'm gonna choose Adam Pearce because I think his Instigator card will work really well for Kyle's title matches. Then we're gonna take SmackDown and hope that Kyle gets the +6 popularity from Birth of Legends. The GM opponent's gonna be William Regal, the opposing brand will be Raw, and the AI difficulty hard. Then, as always in these runs, in the interest of time, I'm gonna keep it to 15 weeks. Right, so I didn't bother showing you the draft because the other superstars aren't too important. But I did check the free agents in the first week and Kyle wasn't there. But now I've simulated my first week, you can see that he's right there in the bottom corner. So welcome to SmackDown, Kyle Slickman. So immediately on the first card, I'm gonna give him a title match straight away. I know the chances of him winning this aren't very high, but it's good to try and get the championship on him as soon as possible. I'm also going to use my Birth of Legends power card, so just pray that Kyle gets the +6. As you can see there, he didn't, so this is going to be tougher than I thought. So that's how the card looks going into week 2, let's just pray that Kyle can win the title. Match number 1, John Cena versus Roderick Strong. Who's going to come out on top? It's John Cena of course, and it's a 3-star match. Onto the mid card, and the tag match has been rated a 2.5. And here's the big main event. Can he win the title in his first ever show? Unfortunately, Drew wins it, but he's going to get plenty more title shots. Unfortunately, that started a new rivalry, which means that his popularity will be going up week on week. So that's how the card looks going into week 3, and Kyle's got another title match, but this time it's a tables match. So let's get into it and hope that he can win it this time. First match was Sasha versus Tamina, and it's been rated 3 stars. Decent start. Robert Roode demanded to fight because it was his hometown, so I had to throw him in a match. Unfortunately, it was only 2 stars, but we should be able to get over it. The big main event, Kyle versus Drew, but Drew once again takes him down. These matches seem to be getting very high ratings though, so keep it coming. Just a quick update, as it stands, we're about 6,000 fans behind, so not too much. This is genuinely huge. Triple H has come into my emails and told me that Kyle is doing better than expected. So now I get a superstar training card to make him into a full-time wrestler. Triple H really wants to see us succeed. And I've just seen that there's a fixed match card available in the store. And I think you all know what we're going to be using that on. Unfortunately though, the superstar training card is putting Kyle out for 2 weeks. But hopefully by the end of it, his stamina will be up again and he can go and win the title. So the opposing brand vetoed 3 of my stars, and it happened to be 3 that were all in rivalries. So there's not much variation this week, but we're gonna just have to go with it. First match, Natalya versus Tony only gets a 2-star. Morgan versus Gonzalez suffers the same fate. Okay, thank God the main event was a 4-star. Tamina actually wins the belt off Sasha in an amazing match. That dud of a show has put us quite far behind Raw though, so a very well played veto card from William Regal. So for the first pay-per-view, that's how the card's gonna look. We get Kyle back next week, so he should be the champion soon. Let's head into it and hope that we can get some fans. First match, Strong vs Cena, amazing, great start to the show. First up on the mid card, Big E and Bate versus Balor and Tozawa, and it resulted in a 3.5 star. Not too bad. Gonzalez versus Morgan gets a 3-star, and then the big hitting main event, Tamina versus Sasha gets a 4.5 star. Tamina retains, and that's not a bad pay-per-view. We're still second in the rankings, but only by 10,000 fans. Okay, so we're going to use our fixed match power card on Kyle Slickman. And as you can see, he's in the main event versus Drew. So that's how week 6 card looks, let's get into the show. In the opener, Finn Balor beats Big E to get an okay match. Not really what we wanted, and I'm a little bit worried that this is going to be a bad show. The mid-card tag team fight went down a dud as well, so I'm a little bit worried. But here's the big main event. Kyle Slickman finally getting his hands on the title. So as expected, Kyle Slickman is your new champion in a 3.5-star match. And he's also now at level 3 with McIntyre, so that should be a brilliant match going into the next pay-per-view. Kyle Slickman is about to become SmackDown's greatest ever champion. And with that show, we've actually gone above William Regal. So we're now 20,000 fans ahead. To be honest, I don't know why I'm surprised, surely every single fan just loves Kyle Slickman. Okay, so I've just realised that Kyle Slickman actually has 5 promo skill. I don't know where that's come from, but I'm going to be utilising that to boost his popularity to the max. So that's how the card looks going into week 7, let's hope for a good show. Not too bad of an opening fight with a 3-star coming from the tag match. The mid-card fight is only a mediocre, but that should be okay. Balor vs Big E in the main event comes out as a 3.5, so overall fairly solid. We're still a fair amount of fans ahead, so things are looking good. I actually promised Big E a title shot to keep his morale up, so Slickman's gonna have to defend on a random SmackDown. I'm a little bit nervous as I really want to complete the McIntyre-Slickman rivalry at the next pay-per-view, and that match needs to be for the title, so we just have to pray that Kyle retains. Okay, so I put it as the opener and I just hope that this doesn't ruin the entire show. Please Kyle, just do the business and retain the title. Unbelievably, Kyle retains the title and we're heading into the next pay-per-view with Drew vs Kyle on the card. The mid-card tag team match is mediocre as per, but hopefully it won't make too much of a difference. Roderick Strong beats John Cena in the main event in a 3-star Extreme Rules match. We're about 40,000 fans ahead, so we're pulling away just a little bit. Heading into week 9, this is how our show looks. To give you a quick update, Kyle is currently the 5th most popular superstar. So let's hope his match with Drew at the upcoming pay-per-view really does change that. I probably shouldn't have chosen John Cena, he's just a popularity machine. Anyway, into the show and let's see how it goes. The opening tag match gets a 3-star, so not really what we wanted, but not a bad start by any means. The mid-card fight actually gets a 3.5 stars, so obviously I should have put that as the opener. A little bit annoying, but we can look past it. Kyle goes up to 75 popularity, so he's getting closer and closer every week to being the most popular. Natalya came into my emails and said that she really wanted to be in a main event. So that's why this is kind of a random Hell in a Cell, but hopefully it still gets a decent rating. Okay, it gets a good, which means the show went against the fan expectation, but by all means it's not really a bad show. We're still in first place, so hopefully this pay-per-view can just set us a little bit further ahead. So that's how the show's going to look going into week 10 and the TLC pay-per-view. Hopefully Kyle can retain against Drew and get a 5-star match. First match on the card and Sasha Banks wins back her women's title in a Hell in a Cell. 4.5 star, great start to the show. I've put John Cena in an advertising promo because he was getting a little bit too OP, so I'm trying to bring down his popularity. Although of course, because it's John Cena, he doesn't go down at all. The first mid-card fight, the Tables Tag Team match, has gone down pretty well as a 3-star fight. Finn picks up the victory over Big E in a TLC match with the branded pay-per-view bonus. A 4-star amazing match, so hopefully Kyle and Drew can top that. Okay, a pretty big moment, Kyle versus Drew in an Extreme Rules match for the title. I'm kind of expecting Drew to win this, but I'm praying that Kyle retains. The guy is unbeatable. Kyle Slickman in a classic match retains his title against Drew McIntyre. Honestly, I didn't think I could love this man anymore, but there he is waving right back at me. Honestly, what a beautiful, beautiful man. That pay-per-view has also put us 101,000 fans ahead of Raw, so things are really looking up heading into the final stretch. Kyle's just come into the emails and said that he's feeling a little bit rough, so he wants to take the next 2 weeks off. Which I guess makes sense, but that's really going to harm our booking for WrestleMania. Well, we're just going to have to make it work. Also, just to update, Kyle Slickman is now the 3rd most popular superstar. So I'm going to try and get Sasha to lose her title and then book John in a bunch of advertising promos. And just hope that they bring his popularity down. So that's how the card looks going into week 11, let's hope that the show doesn't plummet due to Kyle not being there. Match number 1, Tony vs Natalya, and Natalya picks up the win in a 3-star fight. Finally, John loses some popularity and goes down to 78. Drew picks up the win in the mid-card and it's only a mediocre fight. And in the main event, Sasha retains her title against Tamina in a good fight. Now you might be wondering why I booked Sasha versus Tamina for the title immediately after their rivalry completed. And that's because Sasha sent me an email saying she wanted to be in a match with Tamina. So to try and make that match as good as possible, I put them in a normal title match. So hopefully I don't lose too many fans from doing that. Okay, good, we're still 110,000 fans ahead and we've got a fair bit of money going into the last few shows. For week 12, I've put Kyle in a self promo to try and boost his popularity back up. Because as you can see, he's dropped back down to the 5th most popular superstar. So let's hope this all goes swimmingly and the show goes down well. McIntyre versus Tozawa in the opening fight goes down great. Big E and Tyler Bate win the mid-card tag team match, but it's only a 2.5 star. Kyle comes in big with an excellent promo, pushing him up to 77 popularity. And for the main event, it was an Extreme Rules match with Gonzalez facing off against Morgan. That match got a 3.5 stars, so pretty good end to the show. Raw has gained a few fans on us though and are now only 95,000 behind. So we really do have to watch our backs. Another fixed match card has just come up in the store, which means that even though it's a little bit cheap, Kyle is definitely going to be retaining at WrestleMania. So that's how week 13's looking. I'm thinking I'm going to try and get Kyle and John Cena into a rivalry just before Mania. So hopefully they can have a massive match on the grandest stage of them all for the title. And of course, we're going to rig it so Kyle wins. To be honest, I don't even think I'm going to have to rig it because Kyle has just seen off Cena in the opening fight. Sure, it wasn't a great match, but that will only get built on as we progress the rivalry. The mid-card is also a 2.5 star, so I'm kind of starting to get worried that we're going to lose some of our fans. We're somewhat saved by the main event though as Sasha retains her title. However, I was hoping that it would change hands so I could have Liv versus Gonzalez at WrestleMania for the title. But Sasha is clearly just too good. We've gained back our 105,000 fan lead, so I'm praying that we don't lose it after WrestleMania. So that's how the card looks for the week before WrestleMania. Let's hope that we can gain a few more fans over Raw so we can head into Mania fairly safe. The first match of the card sees Sasha get injured, which is terrible news. She also retained her title, so that really messes up the plans for WrestleMania. Oh well, I guess it's even more on Slickman now to carry the show. Drew won in the mid-card in a 3.5 star match, and Kyle makes sure that his and Cena's rivalry gets up to level 2. For the main event I didn't really know what to do, so I just put Strong and Bate into a Hell in a Cell. And clearly it's backfired. That probably should have been the mid-card fight, that's a bit stupid from me. Right, so we're heading into WrestleMania with just under a 100,000 fan advantage. So of course for WrestleMania I'm going to be using my Instigator card. I'm also going to buy the special promotion card and use that too. And then of course I'm going to use the fixed match card to make sure Kyle retains, as it really is Kyle's world and we're all just living in it. There's how the WrestleMania card looks with Kyle versus John Cena in a Hell in a Cell match for the title. Let's just hope that this is enough to make us finish with more fans than Raw. Also as a kind of final update, Kyle ended up being the 4th most popular superstar, but he has carried the championship for the majority of this run. So I'm still counting this as a pass because he's still one of the most popular male superstars. And also after WrestleMania we'll have no way of knowing whether he actually ended up as the most popular or not, which he easily could do. So here we go, WrestleMania week 15, can we get over the finish line? Match number 1, Big E versus Balor to complete their rivalry in a TLC match and it's rated a classic. Gonzalez versus Morgan complete their rivalry in an Extreme Rules match. And it's rated 4 stars, so not too bad at all. The mid-card fight of Tozawa versus McIntyre in a TLC also gets a classic, so it's a really strong card so far. The only match I was slightly worried about, Bate versus Strong, actually gets a great rating. Then finally, Kyle versus John in the main event. Now of course I have rigged this so Kyle should win, but I'm just hoping that it's a 5-star match. So let's go ahead and simulate and see if it is. So Kyle wins and, of course, it's a 5-star match. Kyle Slickman, what a way to end this run. Honestly, if this guy was at a WWE event, I'd run past all the stars to get his autograph. He's carried the SmackDown brand the entirety of this save, and been the champion for probably at least 10 weeks. So let's go ahead and advance and see if we beat out Raw. So the moment of truth as we get our ratings in, will we beat out Raw? Let's see. So there we go, we finished rank number 1, let's see how much by. So in the end we actually crushed Raw by 200,000 fans. So right at the start I brought in Kyle and immediately tried to win in the title. Just before he won the title we managed to promote him to a full-time superstar. Then with a bit of help from the fixed match card we managed to get him the title. He retained it against Big E on the show without any sort of fixed match card. and then retained at WrestleMania vs John Cena in a 5-star Hell in a Cell match. What an emotional run it's been, and all I can say is that I'm off to go and print a poster of Kyle for my bedroom wall. So overall, I would class that as a success. I took a jobber with 22 popularity all the way to the main event of WrestleMania where he retained his title. If you enjoyed this video even half as much as I did making it, please do subscribe to the channel. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.